Avengers just keep coming. All right, Jake's there,
Yep.
I'm here, and we are talking about Avengers Age of Ultron.
Here we all are, with nothing but our wit and our will to save the world. So stand and fight.
No way we all get through this. I got no plans tomorrow night.
I'm always picking up after you boys.
We can tear them apart. From the inside. That's the best you can do! You had to ask.
So this came out in 2015, about 3 years after the original Avengers. I remember how excited I was when we realized that they were doing another one.
I too was very excited for it too.
I remember the night that I watched the first trailer for this. I think I was doing homework actually. It was my my last semester, you and I's last semester in high school, and I remember watching the trailer. I was like, this is more important than anything. I got the update through my phone or something. Went on YouTube quicker than ever and watched it and was blown away by the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, Avengers trailers are always incredible. There's
This
never been
one was
a bad
kind
one.
of different from the first one.
It was. This movie has a
Yeah.
much darker tone than the original. It's not straight up like fun. However, when I did see the final product of the movie, there's still a ton of humor in it and action. But that trailer does suggest a much more darker kind of man versus machine kind of storyline.
Yeah.
I'd say we got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is a bit longer than the original Avengers. The story's pretty similar to the original. The Avengers gotta team up to stop the evil big bad, and this time it's not Loki, it's
Ultron.
Ultron, cybernetic robot that,
Artificial intelligence.
thank you, that Tony and Bruce have accidentally created, and now he believes that superheroes are what's wrong with the world, and he sets out to basically wipe them out.
Yeah.
So it's not, Ultron does have, certain qualities. I think James Spader, who voiced him, is very good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He also has, surprisingly, Ultron has a lot of funny lines, and I really appreciated that too.
Yeah.
But he can also be extremely, dark and scary.
Yeah.
He can do
That's kind of his
both.
character. He's supposed to be like this dark, sinister villain.
Yeah, but then he also has the humor and the signature funniness from Tony Stark, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about the plot in a nutshell. It is similar to the first one very much in the sense of teaming up to stop another big bad evil person saving the world.
Yeah.
It's very bare bones in that way, but like we said, it's darker. All the Avengers return. We already went through all of them in the original, so
Yeah.
Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hawkeye,
And the Hulk.
the Hulk, Black Widow,
Nick Fury.
oh yeah, of course, and then Maria Hill comes back, Kobe Smulders. However, the new additions we have, we already talked about Ultron, the new additions we have are Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Quicksilver,
Yep.
and Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I liked both of them, but Quicksilver was more forgettable.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they did that on purpose because they just wanted to because they already had a Quicksilver in the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
Which was much better in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he did a good job with what he was given. I like his character. He's kind of one note because he's only in this movie.
Yeah.
But his powers are really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he used that to a good effect. His acting is great. He's a good actor in general. When I saw him originally in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
You've seen the first Kick-Ass, right?
No, I didn't.
Wow. Well, that's a conversation at a later date. But
Yeah.
Kick-Ass, if you've seen Logan and Kingsman, you need to see Kick-Ass because it is R-rated superhero glory. I love the Kick-Ass movies. Anyways,
Alrighty.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson, good as Quicksilver. Elizabeth Olsen, who hadn't really acted in a whole lot before then, she's really good.
Yeah,
as
she is.
Scarlet Witch. There is something that her accent kind of took me a little bit to get used to, because he had one too. but I thought she was so cool. Her powers were wicked, interesting.
Yeah, she's almost kind of like overpowered.
Yeah, yeah, but at the same time, that makes it really cool when she does team up with the Avengers towards the middle to end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
I think we knew at a certain point that they weren't going to stay bad guys.
Yeah.
But they do start off as bad guys, so that was interesting to see. And how she mind controls all of the Avengers, practically all of them. That was more of the darker kind of stuff where we see their like worst nightmares. That was really interesting to see, and I liked how Marvel went in a darker direction.
Yeah.
And then of course we get the Hulkbuster and the Hulk fight.
Oh yeah.
Probably the best part of the entire movie. That highlight right there.
I would have to agree with you there.
That was so good. It's full of humor and full of action, and it was just great. I love watching that scene over and over again. Cast of characters, I think we've already talked about everybody.
Pretty much.
Just like the first Avengers, visual effects, cinematography, first visual effects.
Yeah.
Excellent. Maybe even better than the original Avengers, or on par. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would say so.
The whole fight in Sokovia is very similar to the fight in New York. I don't know if I like it more than New York or less. I think I might like it a little more because Sokovia, it feels like the stakes are actually more up. It's like the ante. And when it friggin' like starts to, levitate into the sky, the stakes really are raised.
Yeah.
The difference is New York City is a much bigger city.
Oh yeah.
Sokovia is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
But it's also in this really rural area, which gave the Avengers a different type of environment to fight in.
Yeah.
And there's still so many cool interactions between them where Captain America kicks up his shield and then Thor slams it and it goes like a frisbee into like 3 different robots.
Oh yeah.
There's so many cool moments of that. I love it in general. So the visual effects, perfect.
Yeah.
No complaints there. The cinematography, Seamus McGarvey didn't come back to shoot this movie. I'm not really sure why. I mean, I think he had another project going.
He was Ben Davis, right?
It was Ben Davis. So he came in, and this cinematography looks great as well.
I mean, I thought the cinematography was okay. So.
Okay, not quite as good.
Yeah.
I guess everything was a little darker and more saturated than the first Avengers. Like, it wasn't as bright and colorful.
Yeah.
But I think that was supposed to match the tone of the second Avengers.
Oh, I know.
Because it's supposed to be, stakes are raised. So it's kind of difficult because, as you and I already know, Joss Whedon had a difficult time making this film.
Yeah.
Because the studio wanted him to put a bunch of, connections into future Marvel movies, especially Infinity War.
And I think that's kind of my main criticism about it.
There is a whole middle section that feels out of place where it's just like, we don't really need Thor in this, cave with the and then Stellan Skarsgård's character is also kind of shoehorned in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of unnecessary, and again, that's where some of my criticism comes from, and yours.
Yeah. But
overall, I would say the opening, when they're attacking the base, not in Sokovia, but it's Baron von Strucker's base.
Yeah.
Remember? That whole sequence is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. And then the freeze frame we get of them all, the side frame, you know what I mean? That was epic. That was just like when they did the pan around of all of them in a circle in the first Avengers.
Yeah.
Maybe not as iconic, but you know what I mean. And then of course, Hawkeye gets more to do in this. The fact that we're given more backstory to him and he has a family, I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked how they went back to, once they were kind of defeated for a short amount of time, they went back to Hawkeye's house and met the kids and everything, and they just kind of laid low. That was a nice change. That was not in the first Avengers at all.
No.
So I like that. But again, the beginning and the end are the strongest elements of this movie. I feel like it comes together in the end, and it ends on a great
note.
Yeah, it ends on a great note, just like the first one does, where it's like Captain America almost says "Avengers assemble," but he just starts to say and then it cuts. And this movie leaves you pretty satisfied, just like you did with the first one.
Yeah.
If not, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
Because sequels are never quite as good.
And I kind of I actually saw this movie on Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it was okay. I thought it was a little bland, even though my mother actually loved it.
Yeah. I think for the most part, I think my aunt loved it, my parents loved it, I loved it. I think I only saw it once in theaters though. That's the difference. We saw the first Avengers 2 or 3 times in theaters. I feel like.
I only saw it once in theaters.
Did you?
And then a couple times on DVD or TV.
I've seen it multiple times, probably 10 to 15 times now. But I saw it more than once in the theaters just because it was this huge thing that I felt like I needed to support.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. We had never seen a superhero movie of that caliber, you know?
Yeah.
Justice League came years later, and that was just trying to copy off of the Avengers. The Avengers did it first. It did.
Yeah.
And I have a question regarding Justice League after we're done.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, and the music. The music was not Alan Silvestri.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't come back until Infinity War. Brian Tyler, who I actually quite like as a composer, who's mostly well known for doing the Fast and Furious movies, and Danny Elfman, who's done a bunch of other films.
Yeah.
One being Wanted with James McAvoy and Angelina Jolie. Great score there. The score is good. I would not say it's as good as the first one. It has high points, and then it doesn't necessarily have low points, but the remainder of the score kind of feels, like you said,
bland.
A little bland, a little bit. But it's serviceable, it's fine. The music just didn't really stand out to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess they didn't use it in ways that kind of made you, like, cheer like you did during the first Avengers. But still, overall, I would recommend this movie to Marvel fans, blockbuster fans, just movie fans in general.
Yeah.
Just like the first one, I think you will get something out of it.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, so I'm going to rate Avengers Age of Ultron an 8. I'm going to give it an 8, because I think I enjoyed it more than you did.
Yeah.
Had a couple problems with it, but overall, would definitely watch it again. It's got enough good in there that it offsets the bad.
See, for me, it wasn't, like, completely awful, but it wasn't, like, as great as the first one, so I'll give it a 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 from me, 7 from you.
Yeah.
Avengers Age of Ultron. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it, and we'll talk to you guys when we review Avengers Infinity War. That's going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Talk to you guys then.
Yep.